Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 26 of this series. In the last episode, we got a lot of the detailing done. Not the finer detailing, that we're going to do this episode. But we got all the, we've got the lights in place. We got this wonderful bit of greenery over the head. We got a few barrels placed around. I did end up putting in some benches. I can't remember if I did that on camera or not. We boarded up the rooms we weren't using yet. What I think I might consider doing is, if, for example, I want more librarians, or I want more farmers, or I want more whatever in the future, they will be up here, and they will fill these rooms. Until I know how much I use certain villagers, they're just going to stay boarded up for now. I also, what was I going to say? Okay, so I also went to a building world and I figured out some basic designs for the rooms. They are not the most beautiful interior designing I could have done, but they are functional and they don't look completely shit. So we're going with them. I can probably jazz them up a little bit with item frames and armor stand stuff. But these are all of the blocks that I'm going to be using. So that's going to be first job on the list, because I left the world up a while and we have got a whopping total, it's so loud, of 39 villages, including the 2 that are up there. Now, something that I realized when I was doing a bit more research, because this is the first time I've ever really looked into villager trading. For them to get the discount from being de-zombified, you need to give them their job first. Now, I have captured a little zombie in here. As you can see down there, he's holding a stick, so he won't despawn. But purely because of the fact that you need to give them the job first. Also, the fact that you can at most de-zombify them up to 5. Why are they breeding again? I don't need more villagers. I don't need more villagers. Fuck. Okay, well, we've got 40 villagers, apparently. We might have to take one out back and, you know. Anyway, where was I? Ah, yes. So, purely because... Actually, let me show you what I've done. Because I've also collected all of the materials that, you need for a 1 successful, hello, sir. I've also collected all of the materials that you need for 1 successful de-zombification of all of them. Just checking that these 2 are okay. Yeah, good. Now, what I've decided I'm going to do, I'm not going to bother zombifying them until I've got enough to zombify them and de-zombify them the full 5 times, which will be post Gold Farm, which will be around episode 30-ish. I want to get that done. Probably around 35 to be more exact. So what we're going to do in this episode, excuse me, Sep, we are going to get the villagers moved in so that they can have their jobs, and we are going to get the detailing done. I'm not going to worry about the zombifying stuff yet. We will do that later. So yeah, so I'm going to get on with that now. And then once I've got the big bulk detailing in, I'll probably bring you guys back a bit. And then go and do all of the titchy little item frame and armor stand decorating bits and pieces, because I've got a few ideas, but you know. Ooh, I did mention I should probably go get we've got 17, that should be enough. So yeah, so I'm going to get to work on that, which see, I did originally move it so that they're blocks. In the build, I've moved it so that they're blocks around this corner, but now I'm thinking it's better to have them here, because otherwise I had trapdoors in the way. Basically, the way I'm keeping the villagers in place is I'm putting a trapdoor there, and I was going to put a trapdoor up there facing up. I don't know. I mean, it worked, yes, but there is a high risk of the villager getting out. Because if you accidentally press the trapdoor, whoop, they're out. But then again, that's the same for the one at the top, so does it really matter? No. Okay. I'm going to get to work on this then. Yeah. Okay, so the first thing I do here is I basically set up the entire interior of all of the village rooms, except for the more little details with like item frame bullshit. As I mentioned, I did go on to a building work that I just have, and I quickly made up some rough designs. Hence how we have the exact number of blocks, which made this a hell of a lot easier. I'm using trapdoors to hold the villagers in place, because why not? You know, that's about it. I don't think there was a reason other than it's good, you know. It was a little bit expensive on resources for some of them. For example, all of the like toolsmith, armorsmith, weaponsmith-esque rooms had blocks of coal and anvils in them. That was rather expensive. We're back up now. I did a fairly extensive mining trip. I found one of those big old iron veins that they added. I hadn't realized how good those were until I actually, you know, mined one. So, yeah. It cost a lot of resources, but at this point in time, we're okay. What I did find very, very, very aggravating is the segment you will see in a little bit, where I tried to get the villagers inside. It annoys me so much that I end up doing only one of the rooms worth of villagers on camera, and I just do the rest off camera. Otherwise I would have had like 5 hours of fucking recording to sift through, because it genuinely took a stupid amount of time. I never want to deal with that shit again. Never. I do not. I will simply make more minecarts and leave them in the minecarts. No, not dealing with that again. I will note, I love how the big old glass roof and the stars look with the sort of like green foliage sort of line running across them. I think it looks really cool. But yes, here we are, the villager segment. The next, and I shit you not, like 5-ish minutes, it's basically me trying to get the fucking villagers in. Genuinely one of the most tedious and painful experiences I've ever had. Because you see, I had originally planned to try and run them through a zombie to cure them. What I decided that I'm going to do instead is just wait until I have the resources to cure them all 5 times over, so that I do it in one big batch. So all I have to do is get them into their little huts, their little boxes. You may think,
That's probably easy. You've just got to, like, put them in a minecart and then break the minecart. Yes. I thought that it would be that easy as well. It wasn't. You see, something that's very, very annoying about villagers that I hadn't realized is that, first of all, to get them on the minecart needs to be powered. So the minecart would often just bounce back and forth, and then villagers got out and it became a mess. It legitimately hurt trying to do this. But yes, so the reasons why using a minecart isn't actually as good as you may think it is. First of all, it's a pain in the ass to get them on the minecart. Second of all, as you will see, when you have them on the square that you want them to be on, and you break the block, as you see here, you think, oh, they'll go right in that square. Oh, wait a minute. How's he done that? He's landed on the fucking lectern. You see, they do not go where you need them to go at all. They will go to any available block, even if it's something like a half slab, even if it's not a full block, they will go to it. Or at least that's what it felt like. I don't know. I stopped giving a shit about the actual statistics of it, like, fairly, and then, yeah, more got out, and I just sort of started to give up after that. Yeah, this is when I decided that boats is probably the easier way to go. And then just boat them into the rooms. So have like 3 villages in one room, break the boat and just sit there and wait for them to walk into the space that I need them to walk in, and then just trap them in there. That was genuinely quicker. You wouldn't expect it to be. You'd expect it to be more, like, tedious. Nope, it was quicker. But watch, you'll see. It genuinely yeah, like he jumped out. He jumped out. They legitimately go to any other square possible. I never want to make another one of these. I think it's cool. I like how it looks. I'm glad I made it. Never want to make another one. Never want to make another one. I hate it too much. In future, I will just go to a village and have like one villager be a mending villager, rather than doing this fucking trading nonsense. Because watch, you'll see. Yep, they got the trapdoor. It's genuinely... I genuinely gave up after that. Because yeah. Fucking villagers. The thing is, you can't put leads on them unless they're name tagged. And I'm not gonna burn name tags on villagers, just getting them into their fucking spots. Like, what? Genuinely one of the most infuriating, like, things I've ever had to do.
Okay, having shown you the sheer bullshittery of dealing with these villagers, I'm just gonna finish it up off camera. Because I'm not, this is a ridiculous, like, I've already spent 20 minutes getting one fucking room filled, and I still need to redo their job so that I can get one with mending, like, right off the bat. So, I'm just going to get the rest of the villagers moved in off camera. And I will bring you guys back once I've done that, and we will get started on the finer details. I'll also probably make a few more item frames and armor stands, so that I've got a little bit more to work with. So yeah, so I'll bring you guys back once I've done that. Okay. I figured out a far quicker way to do it, and that was move 3 villagers into the rooms with boats, block off the entrance, and just wait for them to walk into their rooms and trap them. We do have quite a few boats. But, you know, with, God, that was a lot quicker. Okay. Also, I ended up sticking with someone with thorns. You had mending. Why don't you have mending anymore? You had mending. Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, he had a mending for 10. I'm gonna re-roll him later. But I also stuck with a guy with Silk Touch and also someone that has Thorns. Because, personally, Thorns is one of the most annoying enchantments I find to get. Okay, that is really annoying that he's now not. Okay, well, I'm going to... Alright, I'll do that off camera in between episodes. I'll get him back to mending. Otherwise, everyone else can just chill as they are, pretty much. We've got 3 in each room. The rooms upstairs are also done as well. Again, boats was far quicker and far less resource. I left a block of dirt on that. I was only doing that while I was shuffling the things around so they couldn't get out. Yeah, it was a hell of a lot quicker to use boats just to get them up here and then manually just wait for them to get into their areas. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to get on with some of the finer details, which will include some shelves on either side and some item frame and armor stand work. I'm not yet decided on whether I'll do anything up here. This is mostly placeholder just so it doesn't look like the wall just stops, you know? I don't quite know if I'll do anything up there yet. I might. But I'll definitely do some detail in the rooms, and I will definitely do some detail in this area here and over there, and I will definitely add a little paper few bits and pieces here so it looks like a newspaper rack sort of thing. Ooh, hang on, where's my signs? How would that look? Oh, that looks better. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to get on with that now. So yeah. So here I start putting in some shelves. I just use some chains to hold the shelves up, and I use spruce trapdoors for the shelves themselves. They're a nice block. They're not too, like, half slabs are too thick, but trapdoors are fairly nice thickness. And they're also just look kind of like shelving with the metal bar going across. I don't typically use trapdoors for shelves because I tend to put stuff like stuff that will break if it's not supported, like a lantern, for example. But I decided to use them here, but basically came up with a handful of blocks and items that would go on top instead, like iron ore, wool, hay bales, you know, that would relate to the profession that is occupying the room.
about and start putting them in. And it is the finer details, as I call it, where I use item frames and the make item frame invisible trick with the book from the data pack that I have on the world. There is a link to Vanilla Tweaks in the description where you can get that data pack for yourself if you would like. I personally love it, and I use it on every single world that I make. Purely because of, like, it just opens up buildings so much. But yes, so each room has barrels, and then some rooms have a couple of extra blocks relating to the profession in them, like hay bales in the farmers, wool in the shepherds. So I go about just placing a bunch of item frames around on the ground and on tables and everything in there. This is my patented, I don't like doing interiors, we're not going to be here that often, let's just make it look like there's detail method. Another good way of doing that is just add some flower pots or a lantern or two somewhere, or some candles. Just adding something else to the room to make it look a little bit more busy than it actually is, I find works wonders for making the room look a lot better. Now, something that I do with the beehives, as you will see, is I put some item frames on the front. And what I do is I take some stone pressure plates and I put them on there so that they look like handles, which I think looks kind of cool. And I do that on pretty much every, like, filing cabinet, chest of drawers, desk sort of thing that I use beehives for, because I think it works quite well. As you see here, I do put some fish on the floor, and I do eventually put some raw meat on the floor as well. I realized a little bit later on that that's probably not a good idea, because, you know, it's raw food, so I do go back and move all of the raw food onto tables, you know, to avoid a health code violation, because we certainly wouldn't want one of those newly opened villager emporium. Hey, it'll be a 1 episode task. 5 fucking episodes later. And I do notice something there, actually. With the shader pack that I'm using, if you're underneath glass, it still shows the raindrops. So, not much I can do about that, I'm afraid. Yeah. Maybe the roof just, like, maybe it's condensation. It's condensation dripping down. That's what it is. That's the excuse we're going with. Condensation. It's actually highly scientific. It's logical. It's realistic even. But yes, I also do take some time to get, I think I do this outside of the episode, but I take some time to get the librarian villagers with the traits that I want. I ended up getting a, what did I end up with? I ended up with a Thorns tree, a Mending, and a Silk Touch villager. And I'm quite happy with those 3. Mending is useful and everything. Silk Touch I need for a lot of blocks, and I personally find to be a pain in the ass to get. Same with Thorns 3. And Thorns 3 I like to have along with my gear. So boom, there we go. What I do here is I play around with, again, this is the same data pack that we use for the item frames, and I play around with an armor stand, so that it looks like a little piece of paper is resting on the newspaper stand, so it actually looks like there's, you know, something there. I could have gone the whole 9 yards and made a custom map, but I didn't feel like that was quite necessary yet. In future builds that are actually like this I consider more of a utility build that I'm making look pretty. In a build, like for example, a castle, I am more inclined to make a custom map. Not so much inclined to make a custom map for 2 newspaper stands in this villager trader program. Something to make sure you remember is to turn gravity off. Otherwise, you are going to run into the same issue here where the armor stand just sinks into the floor. It took me a little bit to catch that. But yeah, so this is I think the only other time we've used armor stands like this was for putting the sword in the kitchen, so it looks like a knife. I am going to use them a lot more, but again, I sort of want to save that for like, here's a pretty build that's meant to look pretty rather than like hyper utility, functional, and all that jazz. But I do have a few ideas. The bamboo farm is nearly completely full, so I've stopped it for the minute, which is what, and I think that's why I wanted to have such a big storage system, so that I don't have to have on constantly, and now that it's filled up, I can turn it off. I need to put an on-off switch for a lot of farms, actually. Like, I need to put an on-off switch for the bamboo and the sugarcane farms. And I will eventually, maybe, rework the bee farm, but for now it's still functional. But yes, so something that I do here is I use kelp to sort of look like fallen leaves from the big old leafy line, I don't know what to call it, that we have running across the ceiling. I personally think that they look quite nice, and they add a nice bit of detail. But yes, so this is the very tedious part where I have to run over all the item frames and turn them all invisible. Which, I mean, you know, you gotta do it. It just takes a hell of a...
Okay. So, I think we've got the detailing done. Maybe next episode I might add some more plants. Like, I think a bush or two would go really nicely there. And maybe like a bush here. I also need to go get some food for that area. But I'll do that off camera because that's a few little bits and pieces here and there, and I'll do it in next episode. Depends how much time it takes to get another bridge done. But yeah, I'm at a point where I'm happy with this. I've got a Silk Touch villager, a Thorns Free villager, and a Mending villager. I'm honestly most excited about the Thorns Free because I find that a pain in the ass to get. Generally, we're probably not going to trade with a lot of these guys. It's really just going to be the book guys, the block guys, and like Fletchers for emeralds and stuff like that. But we've got them all in case we need them. Something else I was going to say that I completely forgot about. Oh, yes. Okay, so these two are the original two villagers that we got from the village. They are just chilling behind the little food counter, you know, air quotes. But yeah, I'm quite happy. I really like this part. This whole like long sort of creeping vine with the shroom lights in, that might just be my favorite part of this. And yeah, these rooms are boarded up for the minute because I have no clue what's going in them. But to be honest, the boarded up look doesn't. The boarded up look doesn't necessarily detract too much from the overall look. I actually think it looks quite interesting. It gives a bit of a difference. Oh, the sweet berries have grown. Nice. Yeah, they look a lot better when grown because they actually, quote, somewhat collide with the chain, giving the illusion that they're properly connected. So yeah, so I've got a lot of blocks to resort, including the millions of boats that I use to get all of the villagers over, because I don't know if I've mentioned this because this is a different day for me. But the way I moved I stopped using minecarts because that was taking too long. I just got them in boats, moved them in freeze into their areas, and then broke the boats, walled up the entrance, and let them sort themselves out. And just lock them in their rooms. That just worked a hell of a lot easier for me. I also dismantled the breeder, and I also got rid of the zombie, since until I have enough materials to completely de-zombificate them 5 times, I'm just not going to bother with it. And right now we only have the resources for 1, and that is mostly because of gold. So something that we really need to do is get a gold farm set up. And I think what I'm going to do is next episode, I'm going to build a bridge from here across to there. I might also do a little bit of pathing. Haven't quite decided yet on what the path is going to look like. And then the episode after, hopefully, we're going to explore the new content. Maybe. I'm honestly, like, I'm tossing up between doing the new content right away or waiting until Optifine and everything updates to the new 1.19 stuff. Who knows? It's gonna be a few days before I record on the new stuff when the update... Haven't worded that well. Between the update coming out and when I normally record, there's a few days. So who knows? Maybe Optifine will update then. If it doesn't, I'm gonna be honest, I'm still not quite sure on what I'm gonna do. But we will figure something out. But for now, this fucking stupidly long build is done. Oh, thank fuck. Okay, I'm now going to spend quite a bit of time resorting everything. Because, yeah, there is just a lot to reorganize. This, by the way, contains the resources for 1 full de-zombification. Oh, also, you might have noticed, but we have filled up on bamboo in terms of fuel. So, this bamboo farm is off for the minute. And until we run out of fuel or start getting low, it's not going to be turned back on. Because there is no point. And it just makes noise otherwise. So yeah, so I'm going to get to work on reorganizing all of my stuff. And I might do a little bit of trading just to get a few key people up to like the librarians, getting them up to a higher level, maybe the Fletchers as well. Who knows? We'll see. But yeah, I think that's where we're going to call it for today. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.